Hello students, now I am going to discuss chemical bonding, modes of chemical bonding. Introduction already I given the previous video. Okay, modes of bonding or how do atoms combine together. In general we can say chemically atoms can combine in form so that they can form as ionic bond, covalent bonds, metallic bonds, coordinate bonds. Okay, now what is the ionic bond? Ionic bond also known as electrostatic force of attraction or Coulombic forces. Coulomb is the name of scientist. Basically, whenever two equal and opposite charge, this is the property of charge. When two equal and opposite charge come close together at some distance, then unlike charges always attract to each other and like charges repel to each other. So when two charged species as well when come close together, definitely they will attract. And that attraction force is nothing, it's an electrostatic attraction forces. Or you can say it's a Coulombic force of attraction. In general, the magnitude of the force between two charged bodies, two oppositely charged bodies, we can find out as F is equal to K, Q1, Q2 over R square. Two charged bodies can interact with each other by this force of attraction. This is the Coulomb law and this force is called Coulomb's force. So in general, whenever two oppositely charged species like Na plus interact with Cl minus, Mg2 plus interact with O2 minus, or some other examples you can say, such charged species also interact by very strong force of attraction, and this force is usually known as the ionic bond. Okay, so how can you define the ionic bond? The bond formed between the complete transference of electrons. By the complete transference of electrons, usually charged species are developed. Okay, so the bond formed between the complete transference of electrons from one atom to another, so as the complete their octet or duplet, you can say to complete the outermost orbit, or you can say the species have tendency to gain inert gas electronic configuration by the transfer of electrons, and then the bond formed is called ionic bond. Now I am going to discuss, for example, in NaCl, MgO, CaCl2, these are some examples in which ionic bond is there. Suppose I am talking about NaCl, then you know sodium. In the sodium there are 11 electrons written as 281. In the chlorine there is a 17 electron written as 287. बेटा इसके पास 11 इलेक्ट्रॉन है, इसके पास 17. इसके आउटरमोस्ट ऑर्बिट में 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन है और इसके आउटरमोस्ट ऑर्बिट में 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स है. जब कभी भी कोई ऐसे दो स्पीशीज एक दूसरे के पास में आते हैं जिसके आउटरमोस्ट में बहुत कम इलेक्ट्रॉन है, 1 2 3 लाइक, और किसी के आउटरमोस्ट में 4 5 6 7 तक इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं, जब कभी ऐसे स्पीशीज एक दूसरे के क्लोज आते हैं तो बेटा वहाँ पे टेंडेंसी होती है दैट ट्रांसफर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. बेसिकली सच स्पीशीज इट हैज 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन इन द आउटरमोस्ट, इसको कोई 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन देने से था, यूजुअली यू कैन थिंक बिहेवियरली इसके पास 7 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स, इट रिक्वायर्ड 1, इट रिक्वायर्ड 7 टू कंप्लीट द ऑक्टेट. सो sodium transferred its 1 electron to chlorine, and chlorine gained this 1 electron to convert Na plus and Cl minus. जब बेटा इसने एक इलेक्ट्रॉन ट्रांसफर कर दिया, now it get positive charge. You know, when loss of electron takes place, species get positive charge. Its configuration is 2-8. After getting 1 electron, Cl getting 1 electron from sodium, its electronic configuration becomes 2-8-8. And it becomes negatively charged. Now you can see these two species, one is positive charge and one is negative charge, come close together by very strong force of attraction. According to Coulomb's law, whenever two opposite charged species come close together with some distance, then they interact by very strong force of attraction known as electrostatic force of attraction or Coulombic force of attraction or ionic bond formation. There is the ionic bond formation between Na and Cl. according to its configuration, and both get finally complete its octet. Okay. Now if we talk about MgO, then you can see here it's a Mg and it's a O. Magnesium 12 electron, it have 2 and it has 8 electron, it has 6 electronic configuration in the outermost. Definitely it has 2 electron extra and it requires 2 electrons. So when these two species come close together, magnesium transfer its 2 electron to the oxygen itself, get positive charge. By transferring its 2 electrons, its electronic configuration changes to 2,8, and oxygen, it has 6 electrons. In the outermost 6 electrons, after getting 6 electrons, 2 electrons, its configuration also becomes 2,8. Now both species in the inert gas electronic configuration, octet completed their octet in the outermost. Some species may complete the duplet like hydrogen lithium. Okay, so now these two species now interact together according to the property of charge. When two opposite charged species come close together, then according to Coulomb's, both interact with each other by very strong force of attraction, and that force of attraction is nothing, it's an ionic bond. अब क्वेश्चन यहाँ पे ये है कि ये ट्रांसफर क्यों हुए टू अटेन द इनर्ट गैस कन्फिगरेशन. अब क्वेश्चन ये है कि मैग्नीशियम ने 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज क्यों किए, बिकॉज 6 गेन करना मुश्किल है, बट इसका एक थ्योरेटिकल प्रॉपर एक्सप्लेनेशन है. ओके, सो दीज आर द एग्जांपल. वन मोर वर्ड, इट्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय इलेक्ट्रोवैलेंसी? What do you mean by electrovalency? Basically, electrovalency defined as the number of electron transferred during the bond formation. Number of electron transferred during the bond formation, that is the species which lose the number of electrons or the species which gain the number of electrons. These lose or gain number of electrons which lose or gain, called electrovalency. The number of electrons lost or gained during the ionic bond formation, called its electrovalency. In this case, electrovalency of sodium is 1, as well as electrovalency of chlorine is also 1. It lost 1 electron, it gained 1 electron. In this case, electrovalency is 2. Magnesium lost 2 electron, oxygen gained 2 electron. Okay, so that species which lost their number of electrons, called its electrovalency, and another species will gain the number of electrons, called also its electrovalency. Okay, and remember another very important information: ionic bond is a non-directional bond. It does not include any direction. It's a charge. NaCl, Cl Na, cation anion, anion cation. There is no direction, no specific direction. Okay, so this is general all about ionic bonds. What are ionic bonds? These are the bond forms between two species in which one transfer electrons, another gain electron to complete outermost octet or duplet. Like this. Electrovalency, number of electron transferred from one to another, lost or gained, called its electrovalency. Now, during the ionic bond formation, एक क्वेश्चन बेटा आपने पढ़ा था शुरू में ही कि किस टाइप के एटम्स कंबाइन होते हैं. ठीक है, एटम्स के कॉम्बिनेशन की कोई नेसेसरी कंडीशन है? डेफिनेटली है. रिमेंबर, फॉर द आयनिक बॉन्ड फॉर्मेशन, one should have tendency to lose electron easily. Whenever ionic bond formation takes place, one species should be such that can lose electron easily. That means have low ionization and healthier ionization energy. Usually it should be metals. Metals have generally low ionization. It should be metal belonging to alkali or alkaline earth metal. Usually, not compulsory. Another species, one should be like this, another one should have tendency to gain electron easily. Gain electron easily. एक इजीली लूज करने वाला चाहिए, इसके पास लो आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी होगी, एक इजीली गेन करने वाला चाहिए. It should be more electronegative tendency to gain electron, as well as should have high value of electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. We discussed this term in the previous chapter. Electron gain enthalpy is the amount of energy released by the species after gaining electron. So ionization energy should be low, electron gain enthalpy should be high. And if we talk about example, like suppose this is the sodium and this is the chlorine. Sodium required very low energy to lose electron, and chlorine after getting electron loses great amount of energy, and then bond formation become easier. So these two conditions are generally we can consider as a necessary condition to form an ionic bond. For the ionic bond formation, one should have tendency to lose electron easily, that means required low ionization energy. Another one should have greater energy released after gaining electron, that means it should have greater electron gain enthalpy or electron affinity. Then this type of bond formation takes place. Usually such species should be non-metal, like fluorine, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, okay, other halogens, etc. These should be non-metal, these should be metals. Another important term, the electronegativity difference between metals and non-metal. This term already I used in the previous chapter. Here also I will discuss in detail electronegativity difference between these two species, that is the metal, non-metal, or that is the one species or another species which are going to formation of ionic bond formation. It should be greater than or equal to 1.9. Then ionic bond formation would be very easy. So for the ionic bond formation, what should be the necessary condition to form an ionic bond? One should lose electron easily, low ionization energy, should be metal. Another should be tendency to gain electron, high electron gain enthalpy, and should be non-metals usually. Okay. Now these are some necessary conditions to form ionic bonds. And when two species with opposite charge come close together, then ionic bond formation takes place. Now, what are the characteristics of compounds having ionic bonds? जिनके पास आयनिक बॉन्ड्स होते हैं उनके क्या कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स हैं? उनके कोई कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स होंगी, उनकी कोई प्रॉपर्टीज होंगी, ओके. और ये आपको अलग से भी पूछी जा सकती है, राइट द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स. ओके, सो रिमेंबर सच कंपाउंड्स हैव हाई मेल्टिंग पॉइंट, हाई डेंसिटी एंड रिजिड. एज यू नो, आयनिक बॉन्ड्स आर द वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉन्ड्स. मैं कह सकता हूँ कि आयनिक बॉन्ड स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट फोर्सेस ऑफ अट्रैक्शंस होते हैं अमंग द ऑल केमिकल एंड physical bonds. Okay, that's why most of ionic bonds containing compounds, which are also known as ionic crystals, these are also known as ionic crystals. Usually these have very high melting point, very high density, and these are rigid, hard. Mostly these are incompressible, indiffusible, incompressible, indiffusible, and are closely packed. Again, due to interaction forces, ions are very close packed. That means the gap between the ions are what? Positive, cation, negative, anion. Cation and anions are so closely packed that the distance between interionic spaces are very less, because interionic interaction forces are very strong. incompressible. These are very close packed. Ions interact together in the definite shape, definite geometry. They undergo definite shape, definite geometry. Ions are closely packed. Their geometry may be cubic, may be hexagonal. Okay. These compounds have definite outer boundary. उनकी ज्योमेट्री फिक्स होगी, शेप फिक्स होगी. Okay, these are bad conductor of electricity in solid form. Remember, in solid form, these are bad conductor of electricity because ions are tightly packed, closely packed. Ions do not move. You know, for the electric conduction, ions should be moved. But if these are solids, then ions are so closely packed that can't move on applying external electric field. So these are basically what bad conductor of electricity, but are very good conductor in their molten or aqueous solution. अगर बेटा आप इनको मेल्ट कर देते हो, however they have very high melting point. In the molten or aqueous solution, these are very good conductor of electricity because in the molten or aqueous solution, their ions are free to move. Their ions are free to move, then these becomes a very good conductor of electricity. Another word I am using, these are highly soluble. It's regarding solubility. Highly soluble in water or in other polar solvents. Polar solvent means which have tendency to generate charge. Polar solvent means which can dissociate into charge. तो अगर आप इनको वाटर में बोलते हो या किसी ऐसे सॉल्वेंट में बोलते हो जहाँ पे चार्ज जनरेट हो सकते हैं, यू नो अबाउट वाटर कैन डिसोसिएट इनटू द आयंस. Water has polar bonds. I will discuss in detail in this chapter further, the further topics. It is a polar nature or have high value of dielectric constant or have high value of dielectric constant. Dielectric constant is the property of the solvent by which any solvent can decompose the species into their ions or can decrease the interaction forces between the ions. Water has dielectric constant nearly 80. It means when we add any ionic compound in water, the interaction forces between the ions reduced by 1/80 factor. Okay, so this is about solubility. And then ionic compounds, remember, ionic compounds have high value of lattice energy. I am going to discuss this term, lattice enthalpy and heat of fusion. जो बेटा आयनिक कंपाउंड्स होंगे उनकी लैटिस एनर्जी एंथैल्पी या हीट ऑफ फ्यूजन बहुत हाई होगा. लैटिस एंथैल्पी में आपको अलग से समझा देता हूँ, ठीक है. एंड लास्ट पॉइंट यू कैन ऐड, आयनिक कंपाउंड्स मेनली अंडरगो आयनिक रिएक्शंस. That means when reaction takes place, then first they decompose into ions and then undergo chemical reaction. Okay, so these are the characteristics very useful for the ionic compounds. Now I am going to discuss about lattice enthalpy. बेटा लैटिस का मतलब होता है जाल. जाल बुनते हैं ना, जैसे नेटवर्क. I am talking about NaCl. The structure of NaCl as ionic compound looks like a cube, in which their corners as well as face centers occupy Cl lines, and the space between these Cl lines, like edge centers as well as body center space, are occupied by Na+, and all these interact together by very strong force of attraction. Ions, opposite charge, studied by X-ray. Then if you want to break this lattice crystal, it has definite shape, अगर मैं इसे ब्रेक करना चाहूँ to their corresponding gaseous ion, तो जो मैं amount of energy provide कराऊंगा उसे बोलते हैं lattice enthalpy. Lattice enthalpy defined as the energy required to break 1 mole lattice crystal to their corresponding gaseous ions. For example, if this is the solid NaCl and I provide some energy to decompose it to their gaseous ions, then the amount of energy needed is called its lattice energy. सुनना ध्यान से, lattice energy or lattice enthalpy defined as the amount of energy required to break this bond per mole to their corresponding gaseous cation and anion. This is called lattice enthalpy or lattice energy. 1 mole lattice crystal को उसके gaseous ions में break करना है, cation है gaseous. या फिर आप ऐसे कह सकते हो कि when gaseous ions combine together to form 1 mole lattice crystal like this. When gaseous ions combine together to form 1 mole lattice crystal, then the amount of heat released is called lattice energy. When compound is formed from their corresponding 1 mole gaseous ions, then energy is released. When it is break, then energy is required. Both are lattice enthalpy or lattice energy. But as you know, breaking is the endothermic and formation is the exothermic. So ionic compounds have very high lattice enthalpy or lattice energy. Okay, so these are some characteristics of ionic compounds. This video is only for the subjective purpose. I am not concerned about the objective part. I will discuss some extra factor about the objective part in the objective class video or maybe in the live class discussion. But watch it, it is the very basic and you can understand very easily about ionic bond formation, conditions, definitions and about lattice enthalpy and electrovalency. Okay, dear students, watch it and if you have any doubt then please ask me. Okay, thank you, thanks a lot.